Yes, we are rethinking the incentives that our service is giving to people.
And what would be the biggest area where you're trying to rethink how you thought this was going to work out and the way it's turned out to be?
Well, and this is pretty far-reaching, so we're still in the process of doing this work, but when we created the service 12 years ago, we had this concept of followers, and we made the number of followers big and bold in a very simple but noticeable font. And just that decision alone has incentivized people to want to grow that number, to increase that number. And the question we're now asking is that necessarily the right incentive? Is the number of followers you have really a proxy for how much you contribute to Twitter and to this digital public square? And we don't believe it is. But that's just one question. The way we lay out our buttons on the bottom of every tweet, in a reply, in a retweet, in a like, that also implies an incentive and a point of view that we're taking that we want to encourage people to do. So as we think about serving the public conversation, as we think about our singular priority of increasing the health of that public conversation, we are not going to be able to do long-term work unless we are looking at the incentives that our product is telling people to do every single day.
All right, that's helpful. Thank you. Senator Collins asked her last question. I didn't really quite get the answer to that question, but I think what she was asking is a question I had also, which was in the interest of transparency and public education and looking at things available to researchers and policymakers, are you willing to archive suspended accounts so that people can look back at those? And would that be a period of, I think 3 years was part of the question she asked? Give me a little better, more specific answer. You didn't have time to answer that, and I'd like you to have time to answer that.
We are looking at things like a transparency report. We put out a transparency report around terrorism, but we're looking at expanding that transparency report around suspensions of any account. We are still coming up with the details of what this will look like and what it will include.
As opposed to just a transparency report, are you willing to archive some of this where you may not be reporting on it at the time, but someone could look 3 years down the road and try to do an analysis of why that information was out there the way it was and how it fit into your overall policy of taking whatever action you're taking?
I think it's a great idea to show the historical public record. I just need to understand what the legal implications are, and we can get back to you on that.